You know what? Sometimes I do this and it's like the best thing ever. And it really is the best thing ever. But then I turn around and it's like, no, it's not. It's gonna be my coming out story. Coming out of the closet. I already did that like so many years ago. But this is my coming out story. How I came out, who I came out to. I'm not sure if I did this before, but guess what? I'm doing it again. Just because I deleted the original one. And I think the original one kind of like went completely off topic. But if you don't know who I am, my name is Anaya Jefferson. Denise Jefferson. I create YouTube videos to help others, to inspire others, to live in their truth, to overcome certain obstacles in life, depression, anxiety, fear, doubt, whatever it is, you know. If I've been through it, I like to talk about my experiences so that other people can try to relate. Or if it resonates with whatever I've been through, if you hear the story and if it resonates, and if you can hear how I've overcome a situation, or if you can take whatever lessons that I've learned, and if you can apply it to your life circumstance, then so be it. So when it comes to coming out and being transgendered, no matter if you're male to female, female to male, or if you're just gay, or if you're bisexual, whatever the case may be, coming out is a very fearful thing for so many people to do just based off of what the world we live in today. Society is very cruel. There are so many things that you have to uphold to. You have to do this. You have to do that. You have to look like this. You have to act like that. You have to walk like that. When honestly, you don't have to do not a goddamn thing but be yourself. And that was one thing that I wish someone would have told me back when I was young, back when I was coming up, back when I had this fear and this anxiety on deciding if I'm going to live my life for myself or if I'm going to live my life to please other people. Now, when I came out of the closet, I came out I was 18 years old. And no, actually, I'm lying. I was 17 years old. I was 17 years old and I had just graduated high school. Now, for me, coming out was a little bit easier. I'll tell you why. I grew up in a household where my oldest sibling is also transgendered. And when I remember an incident where my oldest sibling had called my aunt one time and expressed some things that were going on in school. And my oldest sibling ended up dropping out of school because of this incident. Now, I had made the decision at that point to never let what people say or think of me deter me from where I wanted to go in life based off the decision I made on how I wanted to live my life. So when I grew up coming up in school, I'm not going to kid you. I'm going to be completely straight up honest. People knew I was gay. You could look at me and you could tell. I walk with a twist. I talk with a lisp. A bitch was flaming it. But, you know, I never really just came out and told someone, like, yeah, I'm gay. Like, if someone would have asked me, I would have been, no, this is that and the third. Truth be told, if I got called any names that I got called back when I was younger that hurt, the things that hurt me were you're dirty, you stink, your clothes aren't all that cool, or whatever this case may be. Reason being those things hurt me was because people didn't know I was going home and I didn't have water. People didn't know I was going home, I didn't have lights, I didn't have food. They didn't know that me and my siblings and my family was going through these things. So those things to me really hurt more than you're gay or whatever the case may be. Now, when I came out to my mother, that was, first things first, the first person I came out to was my aunt. My aunt and my mom are like, underneath, my mom, my aunt, and my grandma are like the three most important women to me in my life. So coming out to my aunt first was hard. I came out to my aunt first because I lived with her. And I remember when I came out to my aunt, I ended up telling her, I was like, you know what? I'm just going to tell her. And I was just laying in her room and I was like, I like boys. And she was just like, well, I kind of knew this. This was something I kind of felt. I kind of thought it. I didn't think too much of it. But she was like, yeah, okay, well, okay. It wasn't really like a big deal to her, like I thought it would be. I'm laying here like, I like boys, almost getting emotional. But I didn't really go into an emotional state because my aunt was just like kind of chill about it. She was like, you do what you do. I love you still. I don't really mind. And that was that. So I had a great experience with that. And with my mom, I ended up calling my mom on the phone. It's like, I like boys. I kid you not. This tramp literally told me. I already knew that. And you want to know how she knew it? Because when I was a child, I was not a child. I was a child. I was an adolescent. At a younger age, I used to use the phone chat lines. I was like, 10th grade? I was in the 10th grade, When I was in the 10th grade, I was like 14, 15 years old. I don't know what the hell I was doing. I was using like phone chat lines. I remember I had went in a phone book and I found a gay phone chat line, and I just like went at it with it. Now this, at a point in time, was when the phone chat lines, you couldn't see who they were. I didn't have a camera phone, so I was winging it on anyone I met on this chat line. I do not advise anyone to do this. Thank God they don't have those no more. But this is the truth. This is what I went through coming up. This is how I started like getting out there, playing around with men and things like that. My mom ended up, because we had a house phone, I ended up calling a guy on the house phone and I used the house phone to talk to these guys. And my mom and her messy ass friend Keisha one time ended up calling the guy back and discovering, he was an older guy and he was talking to me. I don't know what happened. Apparently, I don't know if they ran him off because I never talked to him after that. And I was kind of pissed because I was really, 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 really into him. But I was a child, adolescent. This was a grown ass man. I didn't know any better. So, coming out to my parents was a lot easier than I thought. Now, when it came to my father, that'll be a little bit later on in the video. I'll discuss that whole situation, but hey, we'll get there. Now, coming out for me was very, very, very monumental, especially when it came to my family. I felt this weight was lifted off of my shoulder. I felt like I didn't have to hide anything anymore. Even though I already kind of felt like they knew it, ultimately, by me expressing it, openly saying it, like, hey, I like boys, this is how I feel. It was so liberating. It was so liberating. Now, I do want to speak on an experience that really just changed my life. An experience that I really, 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 really wish, if you are in this lifestyle, if you are, it doesn't matter if you're trans, if you're gay, whatever the case may be. I really want to elaborate on like my first experience. Because it was one of those experiences where it was just like one of the worst things ever. And I pray to God that no one who's watching this video, if you have not engaged in sexual activities, if you have not had your first same-sex experience, I promise you, wait. Make sure that the person that you are with, the person that you choose to engage with, is someone you can not only trust, but someone that you actually are in a vibrational match to. I'm not saying that it was anything bad happened. It just traumatized the fuck out of me. My first experience, this is going to be a little deep. My first experience, I was in the 10th grade. And like I said, I was using the phone chat lines. Now, need I mind you, I came out to my family after I graduated. I graduated when I was 17 years old. So I was about 15 with my 14. I was 14. My first experience. I was using phone chat lines, and this was a time where I didn't have a cell phone. I did have a cell phone. I had a track phone, but I didn't no camera. So I wasn't really suave on knowing what the people looked like, who was gonna be pulling up, picking me up. This is that and the third. Didn't have a car. Hey, so clearly you gotta come get me. I'm 14 years old, lying to grown ass men about how old I am. I'm 18 years old. You can look at me and tell back then I was not 18 years old. So, but I'm never going to put the blame on anyone else for any actions or anything that I do, because I took that. I took that initiative. You have to take responsibility for your actions. And this is not a bad story. It's just a traumatizing story. And I wish that no one had. I don't wish this on anyone. And I just wish that the message that I'm trying to convey is that there's a better way to have your first experience. For me, I was lost. So I'm on this chat line, I'm talking to this guy, and we're going to meet up and hang out. Black guy, 38 years old. And it's crazy, I can remember it like yesterday. It was like around 9 something at night, because I had to go to school the next day. And I'm in the 10th grade. So I had to go to school the next day, and it was like 9 o'clock at night, and I was like, I really want to try it. You can watch so many videos. My mama took my gay DVDs. She just was, I guess she tried to hide me from it, but you can't hide me from this shit. So I was like, I really want to experience it. I really want to do it. I really want to go for it. I'm going to do it. So I met this guy, 38 years old, on the chat line. He comes, picks me up, And I just was so nervous. I was so just like, I don't know what to do. But here I am. We go to a motel. Cheap. Run down. Raggedy motel. But, and it's crazy enough, I still remember his name. His name was Christian. I don't remember his last name, but his name was Christian. I have a great memory, by the way. We go to this cheap ass motel, around the block from my house. And we get there and I'm just like, okay, cool. Now this man tells me you can't be 18. But I'm telling him I am 18. First things first, if you are in this situation, listen to your intuition. Trust your intuition. Don't sway from it. Why am I getting emotional about this? But don't sway from your intuition when it tells you that you are not in a good spot, you're not in a good place. So I'm just like, okay, whatever. So we ended up going through the whole little shindig of sexual intercourse. And I'm going to be completely honest with you, I was stuck. Didn't move, like a flat. 14 years old, I have a 38-year-old man on top of me. And I'm just like, what am I doing? What am I doing? The entire time, all I'm thinking in my head is, what am I doing? This is painful. I'm just not comfortable. And it wasn't even so much that it was painful. It was just that I was so uncomfortable that it was just one of those moments where I was just like, I can't. And then, mind you, I was not trans at the time. I was just a young boy trying to find my way. I didn't know. There's so many people who don't know. So, after this experience, I remember when I went home, because after it all had happened, he once again stated it again. There's no way you're 18. There's no way you're 18. And I'm just like, okay, whatever. So I go home and, go home, go to the bathroom, and I'm just like in the bathroom, like cleaning myself, like just like, I can't believe I just did that. I can't believe I just engaged in this. I can't believe that this just happened. I was like, it's not like I feel bad, or it's not, I felt bad, but it wasn't a sense of bad like it was a sense that it was wrong, but it was more so of a sense that I could not believe I just put myself in this situation. Like, there was so many things running through my head. Like, do you know how dangerous this was? Do you know how dangerous this is? Do you know the games that you're playing? And so, at 14 years old, all these things are running through my head. But at 14 years old, if you don't have self-love, if you don't have the right guidance, you're not gonna know. So even though I had all of these things running in my head and this intuition was running deep inside of me, I was just like, I can't take it back. It happened. There was protection involved. But I just felt like completely... I never want to... I'm not going to ever say that I felt like I was like molested, raped, or anything, because I willingly brought this situation into my life circumstance. However, I will say that trust your intuition, it'll never steer you wrong. After this incident, the next day, I remember the guy ended up like reaching out to me, calling me, just wanted to talk. And I didn't understand like how this person was just like, you was really adamant on knowing I wasn't 18. I even told you when you dropped me off, yeah, I'm not 18. Yet you're still bothering me. So I literally made up a lot. I was like, I'm going out of town with my family. Like, we're leaving, whatever. I'll call you when I get back. Never called him again. This experience really changed my life to the point where I didn't engage in any sexual activities until a later on date. Like, I was like high school senior year, or whatever. And it really just traumatized the mess out of me. So my message for my reason for saying that story was to really give someone who is young, someone who hasn't partook in this lifestyle, to really sit there and think. If you're in this situation where you're about to engage with someone you don't know, number one, it's not worth it. Not just because of the things that are going on in the world, but you have to understand energy. It's very potent and it's very dangerous. It's very toxic. Taking in the energy of someone else, you're taking in all of the things that they've been through, all of the people they've been with, and you just do not know. You do not know. And I'm going to be completely honest. That experience really put me in a dark, dark place. Like, I was so just like, I stayed in my room, and I stayed in my room for a very long time, more so after this experience. Like, even though I stay in my room now, that was one of those times where I wasn't on a spiritual journey, and I say that now when I'm on my spiritual journey, that I've been in my four walls, not these four walls, not a closet, but in my four walls in my room. When that experience happened, I stayed in my bedroom every single day. The only time I came out of my bedroom was go to school. I was just in my room, door shut, music blasting, just in there, just like in a completely different world. Shit changed for me. Now, fast forward to, senior year, graduating, coming out, things like that. Now, I will say to anyone who is of this lifestyle and of this community, coming out is really, really an amazing experience. You feel like a weight's lifted off your shoulders. You feel liberated. You feel free. You feel like you don't have to hide anything. So, when I first decided to come out as transgender, that was a whole nother story. Now, I remember when I first came out as transgendered around my aunt and my oldest sibling, I was not given the treatment that I thought. I was given the, why are you doing this? What are you doing? Though you're trying to be like your older brother, and it's this, that, and the third. And then when you, from your older brother, you get the bitch, you're ugly. You look a mess. You don't need to be doing this. This isn't the lifestyle for you. And I'm going to be completely honest with you. That tore me down to the point where I really believed it. I really went so many years believing that this wasn't the lifestyle for me because I didn't have the nice things. I didn't have the best hair. I didn't have the nice clothes like my older brother, my older sibling. I didn't have, the friends in the community. I wasn't going out, like most transgenders do. I wasn't putting myself out there like that. So I really was very hard on myself for so many years because I wasn't living up to what I thought it meant to be transgendered. I thought that you have to have the best hair, that you have to have really nice clothes, that you have to have this really great body, and that you just have to be 100% on point. You have to be perfect. You have to walk the walk. You have to talk the talk. You have to look the look. You have to play the part. And one thing I've discovered on my journey of living my life the way I want is that you don't have to you don't have to change who you are. You don't have to have the best damn hair. You don't have to go get your nails done. I don't go get my nails done. Clearly, you don't have to do all of these things that people tell you have to do, that society, the trans society or community tell you have to do in order to be considered trans. You literally just have to live your life and be yourself. So when I came out as transgender to my aunt and my oldest sibling, that was very traumatizing for me. Now, my mom, I honestly don't know what that experience was because she never really said nothing to me about it. I'm not sure if she had a problem with it. I know she doesn't have a problem with it now. Like, my mom is like, she's just like she's so dope with shit now. She's so dope with it. As well as my aunt, she's dope as well. Everyone's like really dope about shit now. But, back then when I first came out, my mom wasn't really like when I first... Let me tell you how I came out as transgender. My mom was in her bedroom one day, and I literally walked in her room with a wig on. My mom literally just leaves. She was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "I'm just trying to fix my hair." And she went back to watching TV. So I'm pretty sure my mom kind of already knew that this was something that was coming, especially like when she confiscated my gay DVDs. Like, first of all, Mama, if you're watching this, I know you still... Actually, you don't. Because that was so many years ago. What did you do with my DVDs, woman? I want them back. Shit, them are hot. Fuck. Them are fucking sexy as fuck. But, for the most part, coming out as trans to my mom, my aunt, and my oldest sibling was... it was an experience. An experience that changed my life. And I highly advise, if you are going to come out to... when. Because understanding this, bottling in your emotions and who you are, it'll only hold you for so long. I never want to tell someone when to do something or when not to do something. However, I will say this. Do not waste your great years. Not even your great years. Do not waste any of the great years that God has blessed you with living a lie. Living in misery. Living behind a mask. Be yourself. What the hell are we? I wish I had someone to tell me that it is so fucking liberating. That no, people are not gonna just walk up and hit you in the face. I don't know where you are, but where I'm at, it just ain't possible, you know? Because of you coming out as trans or whatever. I wish someone would have told me that being trans is so fucking sexy. Like, seriously, I'm sorry. A chick with a dick. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Let me stop, because, woo, look, right? I wish someone would have told me that it's okay. I wish someone would have told me that you'll find love. I wish someone would have told me that the opportunities that you feel like you won't get, they'll come to you. I wish somebody would have told me that so long ago. I wish somebody would have told me that. So I'm telling you, whoever you are, wherever you are, just do it. Just live your life. Just live your truth. And I'm not telling you, if you have a thought, if you have a feeling, make sure that it's something that you really want to do. Make sure that it's something, make sure that this lifestyle is who you actually want to be. All right? Because you always have a choice to go out in this world, and you have a choice to do whatever it is that you want to do. You have a choice to be whoever it is that you want to be in the best way possible. Just make sure that you're 100% authentic to yourself and to your heart. If you actually feel it in your heart, just do it, right? Just fucking do it. Seriously. Now, when it comes to my father and coming out to trans to him, coming out as trans to my father, it took me a little bit longer to come out as trans to him, and I'll tell you why. Because me and my father never had the best relationship. I went over several videos. I've talked about my relationship with my father in a couple of my videos about just the past things that we've been through, and personally how I feel towards him, how I felt towards him. So I won't elaborate on that. But I will elaborate on when I did come out to my father. I was in my 20s. I can't even remember when I was in my 20s. But coming out to my father was actually a lot. It was actually one of the easiest things, because coming out to him, I saw myself in a different light. For some reason, for me, coming out to a man just seemed more, it felt like it gave me more power coming out to my father. Because, you know, this is my father. I felt I had this infinite power, this infinite strength. Like, because I used to be afraid of him. Because he was so big and so fucking loud, you know. I used to be afraid of him. I used to be afraid of, like, his opinions, what he would do, what he would say, or whatever the case may be. I used to be just scared of reactions. But coming out to him and us having a conversation, you know, him saying, you know, I love you. I still don't mind. You know, I just don't like when people make fun of, or whatever the conversation it was. It really was liberating. It was also liberating. It gave me a sense of power that I didn't feel when I came out to my mom, my aunt, or even friends. Now, the reason why I didn't speak on coming out to friends is because I ain't got no goddamn friends. When I was coming out, I ain't had no friends. All right, any friends that I have now, they knew me as Anaya. All right, except for Daphne, but she knew I was gay. She already knew. But you know, any friends that I have now, they knew me. I met them as Anaya. Like, literally, I showed everything from my past life. You know, if I had you as a friend, as Kendrick, that was my birth name. As Kendrick, I don't fuck with you no more, and it's not a bad thing. You know, this is on different vibe, different vibrations or whatever. But I did notice that once I did fully come out as trans, the people who I used to be cool with, I actually went and like messaged them and was like, hey, I hope you're doing well. I hope you're great. I hope you're doing this, and the third, or whatever. Or if I came across someone that I used to be friends with or whatever, who did not know, you know, it was really funny to get their reactions, to be like, oh, okay, well, I kind of knew you were always like that, but I didn't know you were like this. But it also is amazing when you hear that you're so beautiful. You know, you're so fucking beautiful. And one thing that I can say is, once I decided to live in my truth, and this isn't about anyone else telling you, it's literally just about you feeling it, but it doesn't hurt when other people tell you. To hear people literally tell me, you know, you just seem so much happier. You're just so beautiful. You just carry yourself in such a different light, and it's amazing. It really is amazing. It really is powerful, and it really is a testament to how you really just have to walk for yourself. You really just have to believe in yourself. You really just have to trust in yourself. You just have to do it. Seriously, that's it. Whatever you're afraid of, it doesn't matter. Fear isn't real, right? The only thing that's real is the things that you make real. That's the only thing that's real. So if you're out there and you're just afraid that it's going to be the worst, then it is going to be the worst. But if you go out there and you believe that everything's going to work out for you, if you have the understanding that not everyone is going to approve of you, not everyone is going to accept you, but the people who approve of you and the people who do not accept you, they won't even be you won't even see them. You really will not see them. I promise you. You won't see them. Even if you hear from them or if you hear of them, I promise you, you have about 10 motherfuckers on this left side. You got this one right here on the right speaking about how, oh, it's not right and it's not wrong. Guess what? You got 10 motherfuckers on this side ready to go to bat for you. Because I found out the hard way. You know, I didn't need them 10 motherfuckers, but guess what? I had them. I was like, y'all can chill. I got this. I got this. You know, I got this. I'm a thug. But it is amazing once you start living in your truth, the support that you do get, the support that you do find. And sometimes it does not come from your family. It doesn't come from the friends that you thought were your friends. Understand this. If anyone walks away from you when you decide to walk out on your, not walk out, but when you decide to live in your truth, they were not meant for you anyway. I promise you. All right? Let them go. Let it go. Let that fear go. And just live your life. Live your life. All right? Now, I stated this earlier in this video. You do not have to conform to society's rules on what it means to be trans. I'm 26 years old, 3 days away from being 27 years old. I have not started hormones. I don't go get my nails done. I really don't go get my feet done. From the neck up, it's the Great Gatsby. From the neck down, it's homeless. All right? I'm just being 100 with you. That's the God's honest truth. I love it. All right? I do not like sitting over here wearing like tight ass clothes all day, clothes that are uncomfortable, clothes that are hella expensive that I'm not gonna really wear. I don't go out nowhere. I don't do all of that shit. So what the fuck I gotta do all this for, right? I don't gotta do none of that. So for what? You know, you really just have to be comfortable with you. You have to be 100 with yourself. Don't try to please anyone, especially another goddamn transgender, especially not a goddamn person outside of who you are. Fuck transgender. Just do not try to impress anyone outside of who you are. And the reason why I said another transgender is because sometimes in this game, another trans is going to be your worst enemy. I hate to say it, but it's the God's honest truth. Another trans is going to be your worst enemy. You would think they aren't, but I promise you, they're going to be the ones to tell you, you know, love isn't for you. These are going to be the people who are going to tell you, and it's not all trans, but you have to be very careful on who you take advice from and who you try to seek support from, all right? Because understand this, not everyone has your best interest at heart. When you are transgendered, you do have people out there who are going to want to harm you, including other transgenders out of jealousy. And when I'm going to speak from personal experience, trans jealousy is so fucking real, it's so fucking dangerous, and it's so fucking deadly. So make sure you are listening to your intuition on who you get advice from, guidance from. Make sure you are trusting. Make sure you just make sure you're protecting yourself. Make sure you're getting advice from, you know, make sure you're getting good advice. You know, don't get that if someone's telling you things like, you know, love isn't for you, or, you know, if someone is literally, and I don't want to knock anyone, but if you are someone who is, I can't even tell you who, but you'll know. I'll just put it like that. You'll know. Just based off the conversation, based off of the things that they tell you, and based off of the things that they've been through. Sometimes the people who say that they've been through the most shit, who be like, well, girl, I know, I've been through this. I've seen it all. I was in your shoes. Those were your shoes. My shoes fit me perfectly fucking fine. All right. I don't know what karma you got going on, or I don't know what God you serve, but I know the God I serve isn't gonna steer me in the wrong direction. So I'm gonna keep my shoes on, and I'm gonna stick with. Not only am I gonna keep my shoes on, I'm gonna lace them up a little bit tighter. I'm gonna lace them up as tight as I can, because these shoes are just for me. Meaning the experiences that I go through in these shoes are mine, not yours. So do not listen to anyone when they tell you that certain things isn't for you, that this doesn't exist, that you won't be able to find this, or you won't be able to get this, that you have to go out and scam people, you have to hustle people, you have to sell yourself in order to make it. You have to do all of these things that you don't want to do. Don't listen to them, right? Because you have a choice. You always have a choice to put yourself first. You always have a choice to be kind to yourself. You always have a choice to love yourself. You always have a choice to honor yourself and your truth. Believe in that. Believe in yourself. And I promise you, there's nothing in this world that you cannot do. Now, I just gave y'all my coming out story in my closet. Now it's time for me to come out of my goddamn closet. Look at her. For some reason, she really likes just staying in the closet. I try to move her out into the open, but she doesn't want to. And then if I move her, she hisses at me. And, hey, what's wrong? Are you sleepy? This bitch crazy. But, you know, if it resonates, let it marinate.